There are people who know their partners. Anajua huyu nitamkanyagia tu. There was one who was even telling me that the boyfriend was telling her, wewe hawezi kuniacha. Hawezi kuniacha. Why? Because amecheza na mindset yake mpaka confidence ya huyu msichana imerudi chini. Do not allow yourself to reach that point. Hello, how are you? How was your week? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Naomi Nasimiu. If you are new here, karibu sana. If you have not yet subscribed, kindly do so by hitting the subscribe button below. Also remember to leave a comment in the comment section so that you can be able to interact. Also remember to like and then share the video so that it can reach as many as possible. Welcome so much. So in the past 2 weeks, we've been talking about toxic relationships, and we've been looking at characteristics of toxic relationships. What are the red flags that you're supposed to watch out for? So if you check out my video, part 1 and part 2, I'll leave a link in the description box so that you can be able to follow if you are not able to watch. We were talking about the red flags, and today I want us to look at something slightly different but still connected to toxic relationships. So today I want us to look at, what do you do when you find yourself in a toxic relationship? You've checked out the characteristics and you are sure this relationship is a toxic one. So what do you do? So we are going to look at the necessary steps to fix a toxic relationship. I know most of you are surprised. You're wondering, maybe if I find myself in a toxic relationship, probably I should just walk out. So I want you to know, because I also learned that there are some people who are toxic and they don't know. Maybe some are toxic because of their way of upbringing. When they were young children, they would see their parents behave in a certain way. Maybe their parents talk to them in a certain way. So as they grew up with the same characters. So there are some toxic people who can actually be fixed when you talk to them, or when you follow necessary steps and try to engage them. You'll find that slowly by slowly they are changing and they are becoming better in their relationships. So what are these steps that you're supposed to take in order to fix a toxic relationship? Number 1, understand whether the relationship can be fixed. Understand whether the relationship can be fixed. So then in this case, you're supposed to be prepared. There are things that you're supposed to do to see whether the relationship can be fixed. And if the relationship cannot be fixed, then it means you walk out, because you cannot be in a relationship where you're feeling drained every time. So what are you supposed to do in a relationship so as to understand whether you can salvage it? Number 1, be open to communication. Be open to communication. Talk to your partner. See how they respond. In the previous videos, you will see we talked about how most of them respond. So try to talk to them concerning their toxic behavior and see whether they can change. 2, be honest. Be honest to them. Don't try to show them that whatever they are doing is right. Just give the honest truth and see whether it will work out. Then have a bit of self-reflection. Also check yourself, because maybe it could be your character that is causing them to be toxic. So have a time to have self-reflection and see whether your relationship can be fixed. Then you can also seek professional help. You can go to see a specialist, the two of you, or you can go to see a spiritual leader. Look for someone whom you can talk to together and see whether the relationship can be fixed. And after doing these things, you check the response of your toxic partner. See how they're behaving towards correction, see how they're behaving towards criticism, and you can be able to judge for yourself whether it will work or not. So, one, understand whether the relationship can be fixed. Number two, be willing to walk away, because there is a probability that when you go and confront your partner and you start uh, telling them about their toxic behavior, telling them about the steps that you need to be taken so that the relationship could be a bit more healthier, you might find that they are not willing. They are not willing. So they'll be like, if you cannot put up with this, then I'm ending this thing. So if they tell you they're ending the relationship, and you went there with your mind 100%, when I talk to my boyfriend, when I talk to my girlfriend, when I talk to my fiance, atanisikia, ata change, and then you find you're the response, you're given the response for the worst. Anakwambia sasa, mimi hii kitu siwezani nayo, now I'm ending it completely. Will you be willing to walk away? So as you go to confront your partner, be willing to walk away, because the answer might be no. The answer might be, I cannot change. So you should have the self-esteem to walk away, in that you can walk away and be confident of yourself and not feel unworthy. Have the self-confidence. Walk out with your head held high. Do not become like those women wenye wanakosana na bwana, anatoroka, anaenda kwao. Akifika huko anakaa siku mbili, siku tatu, anakumbuka watoto, anaanza kufikiria venye atafanya. Hata kwao kuna mtu alikuwa anasema hata akienda kwao hasemi eti wamekosana na bwana. She doesn't say that. Anaenda huko ni kama ametembea. Anaulizwa, mzee ako aje? Ako sawa. Watoto wako aje? Ako sawa. Then they return home. Wao ndo wanajirudisha nyumbani without anyone prompting them to. Especially if you're not yet married, because now in a marriage situation it is a bit tricky, because now there are many things involved. If you're not married, maybe just dating, just engaged, be willing to walk out. If your partner refuses to change, be willing to walk out with your self-esteem and with your self-confidence, knowing there is going to be a better day. Now, another thing that you need to do, use your voice. Use your voice. And when I say use your voice, simaanishi uende uanze kushout na sauti kama imefika huko juu, inasikika mpaka Mount Kenya. It simply means raise your opinion. Speak your mind. Because in a toxic relationship, one partner, especially the good one, the one who is not toxic, anakuanga amefinyiliwa chini. So you find that whenever you try to say something, whenever you try to raise an issue, most of the time you are silenced. Your voice is not listened to. So resist the urge to sweep issues under the rug. Resist that urge, because most of the time this good person you'll find that whenever a partner, the toxic partner is talking, raising issues, saying things, maybe making decisions, maybe decisions concerning money, decisions, maybe you're planning a wedding, decisions concerning service providers, you find that the good one will always be silent. Yani wale watu hawataki vita. I don't want confrontation. So most of the time wewe unaachilia tu, yani unakanyagiwa tu. So be bold enough to raise your voice. Do not sweep issues under the carpet, because if you sweep them under the carpet today, tomorrow they will grow into something bigger. So make sure you handle them as they come, and you handle them by speaking out boldly, because relationships is all about communication. So do not sweep issues under the rug. Then thoughtfully share how you are feeling. Don't just go and erupt at your partner. Una blow tu kama volcano, like you never listen to me. Nini nini nini, now I'm walking out. So you refuse for issues to go under, but you also thoughtfully and with a lot of consideration raise issues that are affecting you, and you say how you're feeling. So the next step, or the next thing you need to do, start taking up space in your relationship. Just the way we've said previously, in toxic relationships, most of the time it is a one man show. The other one is just a spectator. Your work is just saying yes, yes, yes. I remember I once watched a video with this life coach, and he was saying, do not be a yes spouse, do not be a yes girlfriend, do not be a yes boyfriend. Do not agree to be the one saying yes, 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 while the other partner is making decisions for you. This is a two-way thing. So start taking up your space. Take up your role. When your partner says something and you are not okay with it, be ready to object, and then you discuss and come up with a good agreement, with an agreement that is favorable for both of you. So take up space in the relationship. Don't just, now that you know you're in a toxic relationship, don't just be a yes partner. It is a time that now you start taking up your space. And then if the other one is not okay with it, then you start addressing it, the two of you, and you see if there is a way you can work out your difference. The next one, seek out help. Seek out help. That is another step that you can take, because especially if the relationship has reached somewhere where it has been abusive, you can go and you don't know how to work out, you don't know what to do. You can always seek help from a specialist, from a spiritual leader, from someone that you trust. You can go and seek out help. If it is the two of you, you can sit down and agree. Once you talk to your partner and your partner realizes that they've been showing toxic behavior, because remember we said when we started, some of them don't know that whatever they are doing is toxic, it is harming the other person. And maybe the way this maybe the reason why this behavior has been going on, it is because you have not addressed it, so you've just decided to live with it and to adapt to it. So once you talk to them and they realize that their behavior has been toxic, then you can agree to go out and seek professional help. Then the next thing you can do, be okay with uncomfortable conversations. Now, this is something that most of us don't want to engage in. Even married people, you find that they don't want to engage in uncomfortable conversations, but you must. Once you see things are not going right in the relationship, because once you start speaking your mind, you'll be stepping on the toes of your partner. So be ready, brace yourself, because you'll be having very uncomfortable conversations. But I want to assure you that once you start having these conversations and your partner is accepting the change and accepting to change their behavior, then you will grow so much in your relationship and you start enjoying the company of one another. So be okay with uncomfortable conversations. The next point, learn to trust yourself, because this has been a one man show or a one woman show. I don't know what your case is. So learn to trust yourself. Why? Because most of the times you'll find that when you raise an issue, remember in the characteristics we said that these people make your problems to be too little, so that they are not there for you. They minimize your problems. Anakwambia hii shida yako si kitu, but shida yake, now that is what should be addressed. Every or each of their issues is an emergency. Hata mnaweza kosa kwenda kazini mkiaddress that issue. So you find that most of the time the good one in the relationship they will not be able, it will reach a point you will not be able even to trust your own thoughts or to trust your mind. Kuna watu wanasemanga si yeye atafanya. Mnapanga harusi, unamuuliza, now what are you doing with this and this and this, anakwambia huyo mwingine anajua, yeye ndiye ana handle kila kitu, anajua about the color, anajua about the theme, anajua about the cake. If it is a man, yeye kazi yake tu ni kutoa pesa, kwa sababu anajua akijaribu ku raise sauti yake atanyamazishwa mara moja kama radi. So learn to trust yourself. Speak out your voice. If your idea is not accepted, then talk, agree on what on a good, come to a good conclusion, but make sure that you are heard and learn to trust yourself. Remove doubts simply because someone has been abusing you emotionally until you start losing trust in yourself. You find that it reaches a point when you go to buy a dress, you have to look for someone's opinion. You want to spend money, you want to look for someone's opinion. Why? Because you've been put in this shell until you're thinking everything that I say is not worthy. Everything that I think is not worthy. Every idea that I have is not worthy. And maybe when you start trusting yourself and doing things on your own, you'll find that most of the things you'll be doing will be right. They'll be right, they'll be saving time, they'll be saving maybe even money. So start trusting yourself. Do not doubt yourself. Make sure your self-esteem is intact. Make sure your self-confidence is intact. Because if you start coming down, there are in some relationships, there are people who know their partners. Anajua huyu nitamkanyagia tu. There was one who was even telling me that the boyfriend was telling her, wewe hawezi kuniacha. Why? Because amecheza na mindset yake mpaka confidence ya huyu msichana imerudi chini. Do not allow yourself to reach that point. So that's it for today. I hope that if you're in a toxic relationship, you'll practice the things that we've discussed today, and this will help you to grow and thrive in your relationship. Otherwise, see you next time. My name is Naomi Nasimiu. Remember to subscribe, remember to like, remember to comment, and share. Until next time, God bless you. I love you so much, and bye-bye.